everybody, and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Formula Murray Championship for Race 2 from Monza. And joining us on commentary is Ray as we look at the standings. How are you, Ray?
I'm very well. Oh, look at that. Nice wee bit of standings there.
Well,
Steve F1 leading the championship after race 1.
Yeah, that he is. I mean, you say nice bit of standings, but not for Connor, unfortunately, with his DNF last week. But yeah, with us only having had one race so far, that is the current standings here for Monza, though. We could get a lot swapping around depending on which drivers join us on the track. I mean, Monza's an interesting, tricky circuit, especially the first and second chicane, so hopefully we won't have any major dramas on the opening laps, or the opening lap down into those chicanes. But last week we kind of introduced a new feature, and here I think it's time to carry it on. So, Ray, have you got a thought for us?
Right, in the word sent, which letter is silent, the S or the C? Because you could write down S-E-N-T, sent, C-N-T, sent, and both will pronounce sent.
Do you mean S-C-E-N-T?
Yeah.
And S-E-N-T? Oh, yeah, and if it was C-E-N-T, yeah. The silent letter is the P.
The P.
You know, I'm gonna have to a bit of a. You know what? I might have to do a little bit of reading up on that one in Reading.
In Reading?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why?
Because reading and Reading is spelt the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I think it's about time we stop looking at Ray, and it's a good job your jeans weren't unbuttoned as well. But yeah, so Ray, would you like to take us through the grid on what looks to be a little bit of a gloomy day here at Monza?
Yeah, and pole position, that's SGP. Yeah, we're going to get confused here. Second is Damon R.
Mm-hmm.
Third is Twilight.
Art Pal.
Art Pal. Fourth is SRI. Fifth is Steve F1 because he's not got the number 1 on his. Sixth is Nelly. Seventh is Jason, the Swedish map. And this is Twilight in 8th. This is Jimmy in 9th, and 10th is Gary. Jesus.
It's not easy, is it, when they haven't got the names?
Well,
yeah, Gary's is easy. Jimmy should be easy to spot as well. A little bit of a purple one going on there. But anyway, we are at 4 lights, 5 lights. Away they go! And a little bit of a slow start from Nelly and a couple of cars behind him. I think Nelly got a little bit wobbly as well. But SGP holds on to the lead so far. A few cars moving around in the background. Oh, Jimmy! Oh, takes the back of Arpel, I think it was, that tagged the back of Steve F1. Oh, and then comes Twilight to, just give Steve F1 a little bit of a... It almost looks damp out there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It looks like you'd think the rain is coming down in that foggy, like a misty rain, as we see SRI on the back of DMR coming out the first section, sorry.
Now, one of the features we mentioned a bit last week was how these cars cope in dirty air, and we are probably going to see that again around here because the cars do struggle in the dirty air. And corners that it will really be noticeable could be Ascari and Steve F1 going up alongside Jason. And these cars, perhaps more than any, if you're on that inside line, you are going to struggle to really sort of power through the corners, aren't you?
Yeah. And as Steve F1 gets ahead of Jason, but then he's going to give the slipstream to Jason down here at the Parabolica and then down the start finish. So we might see Jason back in front.
Yeah, that we might. We also may get an indicator of what sort of wing levels drivers are using here. Twilight seems to be very quick in a straight line at the moment, but Jason's got the slipstream. But you know what? Twilight's staying right there. I would perhaps suggest that maybe Twilight's gone for a little bit of a lower rear wing.
Yeah, it's looking at, especially if he's out not getting slipstream and Jason is. He's compensated there with a lower downwind, but how's it going to handle in the corners? We'll soon find out.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing in the corners. If it's not gripping, it could be slipping. Practice that line. Okay, SGP up at the front. He's opened up quite a gap in a lap and a half over Demon R. He's got a little bit of a gap over SRI. And we've got Pound. All of the drivers on the same compound of tyre because there is only one compound available to them. But we saw all three wide right. Oh, Nelly, I think Nelly on the inside. Yeah, he went indeed and didn't make the exit. Oh dear. Reversing I think he was, from there it looked like he was close to being on the track, but I actually don't think he was. Oh no, he definitely isn't now. Oh dear. Now I didn't look at whether he was full throttle there when he tried to get going again. You can't go full throttle in these cars in first or second gear, even if you haven't been off the track. If you have been off the track, you definitely can't do it because you will end up facing the wrong direction. Okay, so Arpal is here all over the back of SRI. At least it wasn't into the corner. Twilight's closing in on the back of Jason. I wonder whether Arpal's perhaps got a lower wing because the exit of the board, he was losing time to SRI.
Yeah, and now we've got Steve F1 on the back of Arpal after he's off in turn 1 at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Steve F1, is he closing in? I'm sure Jason did dip a wheel off the track a little bit. Steve F1's got a penalty to serve, so he's going to serve that after Ascari. That'll put him behind Jason and Twilight, batting a little bit. But interestingly, the field's got quite spread out, and I don't think it's just because of the crash. And there we go, Jason making the move, and that's because Steve's got a penalty. As soon as I started saying that, I remembered it got a penalty on Twilight.
That'll be the lower wing, putting behind the car.
Yeah, because
I see what he can do coming down here, but he will have boost, but what can he do coming down here if he's got that lower wing? Steve F1's like, what way do I go, left or right? He's trying to defend from 4 drivers.
Yeah, not easy to do. I mean, you mentioned about the lower wing in dirty air. I mean, the dirty air affects you massively in the braking zones. Like literally, you can hit the brakes and the car just will not slow down. And if you've got a low wing setting, Arpal maybe took a little bit too much curve there. Was he going to get a penalty? Yes, he is, and it's the second penalty that could drop into the cushion of Jason. That's all right on the Panca. He's closing in. Here he is now. Yeah, so if you've got the lower wing and you're in dirty air, you're going to have doubly bad amount of grip. That's really caught on to the back of Demon R, hasn't he?
Yeah. Let's see what happens through the corners, and we'll see if that's our eyes get a lower wing than Demon R. I don't know, there's not much. There is grab has grown a bit, but that could be different speed in the dirty air through the corners, so I don't know if they've got different wing.
I would guess perhaps not, because the gap, like I say, grew. Twilight just bump drafted Steve F1 down the back straight, bump drafted him again. Not something you normally see in F1 cars. Let's see, Steve F1 looking at making a move on Jason down into turn 1. Can they all get it slowed down? Yeah, they can. Jason's still in there.
Look at the difference traction Steve F1's got compared to Jason.
Yeah.
Now we'll see if Jason can get back past.
I think
got Twilight all over the back here.
Yeah, I think Twilight's running a lower wing because he seems to be considerably faster on the straight. Now, yes, I know he is in a boost position, but he won't get the boost if he's within 1 second of 5th place. Okay, SRI here then closing in once again on the back of Demon R. Say that, and yeah, the gap's about the same. Lap. Although I said SRI closed in just before Ascari, so I wonder if that'll happen again. Yeah, closes the gap on the way in, so perhaps a little later on the brakes. But let's see, Gary, a little wobble in the middle of the corner. It's only tiny wobble, but enough. He's actually got a good run. But yeah, that gap's grown a bit.
So good from that ball down the start finish straight, but it's a wee bit longer from the run up than the run up to Ascari, so will he able to get close enough in the braking zone? See it in the back here.
I think
we've got Twilight, is that Jason? Yeah, and Steve F1.
Yeah, I mean, Twilight's managed to close the gap a little bit to Steve F1. Jason moved a little bit deeper on him, and a lot quicker through the corner there was Jason. Wow.
It's a higher downforce on him. I don't know, because he's look, Twilight's there on your speed into this corners, but he's nowhere coming out.
Yeah. I think Jason may have a high wing setting, which I would recommend to everybody everywhere. But yeah, so Twilight does seem to be quicker in a straight line, but it's definitely hurting him in the corners. In the background, Jimmy's just had a massive tank. Yeah, so Twilight here, he's got amazing straight line speed. He's looking on the inside, but he's not going to have the grip in the corners. Jason's round wide though. That'll help.
There's Gary and Nelly going to be able to attack now. I think they're too far back, but they're having their own wee battle there now. Look, where's Jason?
He just went off the Ascari.
Oh, he went off.
It literally just happened. Yeah. Oh, I thought someone had gone quite deep then in the parabolic, and it may have done. Now, interestingly, looking at the tyre wear, that rear left tyre has taken a bit of punishment on Twilight's tyre. And one of the things of having a lower wing setting is if your car is sliding about more, you are going to wear your tyres. Gary here, he's got a bit more wear on both rears than Twilight. Nelly around the outside.
Oh, Gary got on the grass here and pushed him out wide.
I wonder if Gary may be on a slightly lower wing as well. It's possible, or Nelly having a look up there. We've got a Williams slow, it's Twilight. Oh, he's had an off. Didn't see it, unfortunately. And there's Jimmy, who's got quite a lot of time there. Gary's actually is better than Steve F1's at the moment. But something to consider, Ray, is any of the drivers that are accelerating too aggressively out of the first chicane are going to be burning those rear tyres. Not too bad. But we're in that realm now of, right? The driver's going to try and eke out a one-stop, or are they going to go for a two-stop? And if they're going to go for a two-stop, when do they make that pit stop?
Get Demon R on the pits already. I don't think 28 laps and we're looking at the tyre wear already. I don't think it's a one-stop. Well, yeah, 8 laps. Nah, it's not going to be a one-stop.
Well, I mean, if someone could do another, well, no one's doing another 8 laps on the tyres are. We can do another 6, that gets 14, that's halfway, but I don't think the tyres will make it, because they're all under 50% wear from what we've seen. Okay, Steve F1 also pitted at the same time as Demon R. Now got Nelly closing in on the back of Gary. Jimmy, nice to see him back at the racetrack. It's not an easy car, is it, Ray, to just jump in and drive. You need to kind of learn the nuances of it.
Yeah. Sweet spot for the accelerator. Oh, somebody in the background, something.
Oh, Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy's just had a massive crash and it's in the middle of the road. Oh my days! I think, yeah, I think that might be Steve F1 because Nelly's there and past him, and there's Twilight, and there is Steve F1. Oh, Jimmy, he's having another spin as SRI now into the pits and Arpout into the pits. So they're reacting to Demon R and Steve F1, but you don't really need to react to Steve F1 now, by the looks of it, do they?
No, that's massive crash for Jimmy, and it just slung him across the road, and unfortunately caught Steve F1 in the process.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, if I'd have known that was happening, I'd have asked, oh, it's all right to do a bit of a spin. That's not what I would have asked him to do. But here is Steve F1. There's Twilight. Steve F1 is there. So SRI spin helps Steve F1. I forgot what I was going to mention. Oh yeah, I would have asked the video producers to give us a replay of what happened there. Didn't really see sort of from the distance, did it?
Yeah.
Oh!
Steve F1. I think SRI might have went a wee bit wide, and Steve F1's just went on the inside.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've heard a few drivers in practice talking about that, like not going through, just going into the corner normally. And if the car ahead has a bit of a moment and goes wide, you can easily end up alongside Steve F1 in his Mika Hakkinen McLaren, putting some pressure. Oh no! Oh no!
Where's Jimmy? Is he going to get Jimmy back?
Well, yeah. Demon R is all over the back of Formula Gary here, so Gary hasn't stopped. Demon R has, and I tell you what, the cars going off track on Demon R's bound laps here won't have helped him. That's what Nelly had an off Jimmy, although I think Jimmy was behind him anyway. Here is Twilight and SRI side by side. Oh, a little touch. Big tap touch.
Okay.
Oh!
You're in. Oh!
Look at the barrier. A little bit difficult to say, but I'm wondering if Twilight got a little bit of wheel spin, which sent him a little bit sideways, and he's back into the barrier again as he lets Jimmy and Steve F1 through. SGP then has continued on, but he hasn't got a lot of tyres left. Steve F1, yeah, here now with Jimmy right behind him. So last week's race winner, I was about to say, he's having a bit of a tough one here, and he's just been given a 1 second penalty as well.
Slow down.
Oh, he is going slow. Oh dear, what happened there?
Just slow. Jimmy's went into the back of him.
Oh dear. I'm wondering if there may be a technical issue there for Steve F1. SGP, sorry, is into the pits. Where is he going to come out compared to Demon R? Right there. So I think Demon R going to an early pit stop. Well, he'd have been expecting to get a bit more use of boost, wouldn't he?
Everybody went off the track.
Yeah, went off the track or pitted. Well, he's closed the gap up to SGP, but yeah, SGP's gone 2 or 3 laps longer, which will help him later on. But also, SGP has been fast around here. Pack up, Nelly behind SRI. Yes, that is Jason. Smart power there.
Yeah, that power from place.
For a minute there, I was trying to work out how was Steve F1 behind Jason. It wasn't Steve F1 behind Jason. It was Demon R behind SGP. It's just SGP and Jason's liveries look a little bit similar. Okay, so what we got here then? Nelly on the back of SRI, heading into Ascari. Yeah, well, what do we make of the race so far, eh?
I wonder if what is it? What would I call it? The Nelly curse is on. Every time he's behind SRI, he spun it. He done it at Seaside. So I wonder if he'll do it here. Pretty fantastic race so far. To answer that question. If it a bit of love roofing. Oh, Flyers GP was going.
We see, that's what I think may have happened with Twilight a lap or so ago. But when he got sideways, Jason was there and it's ended up spinning him round. Because, I mean, as I mentioned, the first corners, it's so easy to get wheel spin. And it's so easy to get the car sideways. For Demon though, now, he's got to contend with dirty air. And the two Lesmos and the Ascari chicane is where it's really going to punish the tyres and the grip. Yeah, so he's not really gaining in the corners, which is what I'd expect, but he seems to be just in SDP's slipstream, I think, to gain a bit. Oh, Nelly! Oh, he saved it. No, he hasn't!
He's in the barrier.
The car close to him, on its way to him. Twilight.
He's just past him.
Yeah. So Demon then, yeah, it looks like through Ascari has lost a little bit of the ground because he's no closer than he was a lap before. It's definitely in slipstream distance with these guys lapping at low 27s right now.
What would you do in this situation? Would you keep hounding and burning up your tyres, or would you drop back, well, try for a couple laps, drop back, let the tyres reset as best as you can, and then go back at it?
Well,
your thoughts?
in a normal situation, I'd maybe be tempted to say drop back a little bit because of the dirty air, but I think given these cars and the dirty air being such a factor, if you are close enough to put the pressure on and potentially be able to make a move at some point, being able to get ahead and putting the pain on the other driver, I think it's worth taking that risk. But I think if you realise after a couple of laps, okay, I'm not gaining on this guy, then yeah, you may have to back off. Something we've got to think of here as well is when people pit and how long their tyres are going to last. Oh, that was a big block up, I think, for Formula Gary. I think he went straight on a bit. Yeah, he did. He's lost a lot of ground.
He went into the back of us a little bit. I think the screen turned up a wee bit.
The screen. Now, let's see, looking at Demon Demon on the pack cab looks like he's dropped back a little bit. Now, I mean, with SGP's pace, it may not be by choice. As Gary, he's got very good straight line speed here, so I would guess that he may be running a slightly lower wing setting. I mean, and with that, Ray, here's a question for you. If you was a driver where you knew you were probably going to be in the pack for a lot of the race, would you perhaps think about going for a lower wing setting so you can overtake on the straights, or would you want the aero so that you can make the corners?
Well, because like the boost setting gives you that little bit extra grip, I'd probably knock my wing back just a little bit if I knew I was going to be in the back a lot of the time.
Wide, SRI, it's got a run one.
But yeah, I would have knocked it back if I'd done that extra grip in the boost, just to help me out a wee bit here. As we can see, SRI couldn't do anything with Gary on that straight. After Gary going wide, is he going to be able to do anything here? Oh!
It's close, Nichols. Steve F1 into the mix as well.
Is that a overtake off track? Back through.
Well, I'm going to say Gary's ahead, so no. Here from Steve F1 round the outside. Oh, Gary! Oh, dear. Oh, that was a massive tank slapper. Steve F1 and Twilight pit. I don't know if they can get to the end from here. Nelly all over the back now of SRI. He's been sitting and waiting since he was last behind SRI. Let's see how they get on. A little touch of the wheels, but still facing the right direction just. Yeah, that was a massive crash for Gary.
It looked like a safety car.
Well, yeah. Oh shit. Well, okay, so what have we got there? Nelly, SRI, bit too much curve there. May get a penalty for that one as well. Looking at the pack gap, looks like Demon R's dropped off from the back of SGP, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's a bit of a big gap now. Somebody's looking after his tyres a wee bit more, try and maybe figure something out with the next pit stop will be coming up. The next 5 laps.
Yeah, I'd say somewhere within the next 4 or 5 minutes. So yeah, around about 4 or 5 laps. I mean, something that Demon R may have found obviously the first stint, he didn't have anyone in front of him. Stephen Quad's got a bump on Formula Gary. Gives him a bump draft though. I'm wondering if he's thinking Gary on the lower wing may not be able to make the corner as well. Or Steve F1 wants the slipstream down the main straight as Nelly and SRI going at it. Here comes SRI absolutely flying.
Also find out on the back end you can see it.
Yeah, so yeah. Oh, Nelly!
Oh, Nelly spun it!
Gary! Oh, wow. Still well to avoid him there. So, oh!
Why you had to slam on the ankles?
You know what? Yeah, Formula Gary, yeah, I think you might be right. Gary has gone a little touch deep there. I think even Twilight just had a little bump to the wheels as well to curve Grande. So a lot happening there. It's on the back cam. That is Twilight who was in the car now. But yeah, so we couldn't see it. But we know Steve F1 and Formula Gary were near each other down the main straight, weren't they? So I guess, yeah, Gary, so that's Steve F1 to the bar. Just for the pits, not the pits, the racing line. I mentioned the pits. Gary, I mentioned the pits because Demon R's back in the pits. It's not been 4 or 5 laps. It's been what?
That's something. I think that's within the next 5 laps. So, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, within the next 5 laps. Yeah, you're right. Well, it gives him what 16 minutes, depending on. Yeah, he's going to get 40 minutes or longer. Wait and see. Okay, so SGP. I don't think he's going to react to Demon R pitting.
These times. 26, 26, 26, 27, 27.
Yeah.
I think the 135 is pit stop.
Yeah, it would be. So yeah, so SGP absolutely flying. Art Pal is second place now. Reason Demon R, well SGP doesn't need to worry about Demon R is because Demon R's there. Yes, he's got fresh tyres, no boost. So the only way Demon R can gain on SGP is if he goes faster than SGP. He's not going to do that yet this race. Jason is going to be heading into the pits within the next 2 laps.
Yep. I think SRI as well.
Yeah, Steve F1 won't be, but I do think he's going to have another pit stop to make. On the Gary, I think he'll have another stop to do. Twilight, I think, has pitted a lap ago. Nelly, yeah, knackered tyres, he'll be pitting soon. Jimmy, who's still going, his lap time's a little boost assisted at the moment, but that's fine. We said earlier on, didn't we, that you can't really just jump into this car, so for Jimmy, this race may be a tough one for him, but it'll help him for the next.
Steve F1.
Yeah, I think Jason's going to struggle on this lap, you know, because he hasn't pitted. As Formula Gary gives Twilight a little bit of a bump drop straight through the chicane into the barriers, and Nelly nearly gets hit on the end. Yeah, that was a bump draft gone wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was massive.
That's what she said. Yeah, okay, so Steve F1 in this position now, he's in a boost position, but being as close as he is to the cars ahead, he's not really going to be getting any boost. But yeah, we both.
He'll be won by these two, so it doesn't hamper his progress, because these two have got very warm tyres. They're looking to pit within either this lap or the next lap. So,
I think Jason's going to go with this. Oh no! Well,
Oh, Jason's off.
yeah, didn't see exactly what happened there. I mean, you said it. Steve F1 wants by these two. He's by them two. I'm surprised if SRI will be heading to the pit lane soon as well. So yeah, as you mentioned, frees Steve F1 up, but he's got another pit stop to do, and he's doing it now. Interesting.
No, SRI's went on.
Oh, it looked like he was winning, didn't it?
Yeah. Maybe he just wanted that extra bit of slipstream.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It'll actually help out Steve F1, SRI staying out, because it gives Steve F1 a little bit more boost, and it will Jason as well. So Steve F1 coming out of the pits, currently in 8th. Jason's going to come out in 10th, with Jimmy just ahead, but Jimmy will be pitting again soon. Oh.
Steve F1, well, he's got past Twilight already. He's got Gary in front of him. So either he'll get the undercut on SRI or the back traffic will handle. Let's see if SRI goes to the pits soon.
Well, on the main screen, we've got Demon R who's closed in on the back of Artpal. Artpal hasn't made a second stop yet. SGP into the pits now. On the pack cam, that is Twilight, who is behind Formula Gary. Steve F1 has got past Formula Gary. I didn't see exactly where it happened. Looks like Artpal taking the tight line, maybe going for the pits. Yes, he is. Okay, so has Stephen R been able to close anything in on SGP? No. Yeah, he's behind.
SRI's in the pit, so where's that going to bring him out?
Yeah.
Between Jason and Steve F1.
You know what? This one lap for Steve F1 with that boost could have just turned his race around. Where is SRI?
SRI's behind Jason.
Yeah, he is.
He's behind Jimmy.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I mean, SRI is going to have fresher tyres now, but... Okay, so on the screen we've got Twilight, whose tyres aren't too bad. Don't know if they'll get to the end, 10 more minutes, maybe. Jason, fresh tyres right behind him. But be careful of them being cold though, because that is another feature with these cars, isn't it? When you come out of the pits on a fresh set of tyres, they are stuck.
Yes, I filled that out on the first pit stop. So we're spinning around, doing a pirouette.
Oh, Jimmy, I think may have just had a little bit of a moment there. Okay, Twilight now. Bit of a bump stop for Steve F1 here in terms of Twilight may be able to hold up Jason. Obviously not for Steve F1, but just in keeping his position as Jimmy has a look up the inside of Gary. Has he got through? Yes, he has.
Where is Gary? Where's Gary now? He's dropped back. Is Gary off?
Oh, was it not Gary? Was it SRI?
SRI was behind Jimmy, so SRI would have been making the phone.
Oh! I wonder if Jimmy would maybe wanting the pits there. Found the road blocked. Well, Jimmy's got to be careful. His tyres are knackered. His car's not going to want to stop as well. He's in the dirty air. He just about manages to get it stopped. Get it going very well. Twilight's dipped a wheel.
Still going. Jason going for the inside line. Oh, well, the outside line now, he's past him anyway.
So Jason gets ahead. Can he now get it slowed down? Can SRI do anything about Twilight? Twilight's had a bit of a tricky exit there, and SRI having a look up the inside. It can be done. Oh, and Twilight's...
Let me here comes Jimmy. Is that not twice Jimmy's booted the back end down?
It might be. I'm not sure he had anywhere to really go with that one, but yeah, I mean, I think Twilight might have just got sucked into giving SRI a little bit too much space there, being too kind and so easy to just wander off the track. So Steve F1 all over the back of Artpal now. Something's happened to Artpal.
Yeah, that was a way down after turn 1. He's got himself back up to the podium position.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I mean, Art Powell's last lap was a 1:29.6. I'm wondering if he's had a bit of a struggle somewhere, maybe had a penalty to serve or something. And Steve F1 goes round the outside, makes the move. Now, Art Powell's tyres are fairly fresh. So we'll see if we can do
Steve
anything.
F1's gone. Steve F1's gone.
You know what, looking at the track map, yeah, you're right, he has. Jason, though, all over the back of SRI now, so SRI somewhere along all that managed to get ahead of Jason, but Jason up the inside. Yeah, slowed down. Ooh, he did, but yeah, no.
Maybe SRI go for the inside line. Will that throw Jason out the marbles? No. Jason managing to go round outside. I think Jimmy had the moment and just caught it there in the background.
Old Brown moment is what he did. Yes, Jason there giving SRI plenty of space, but also using the banking of the corner to help him round and make that move. Oh, Jimmy's slow in the chicane. Jimmy's off in the chicane of Ascari in the background there. I saw it on the pack cam as Nelly was closing in. As SRI now making the move. Has Jason just served a penalty? He must have.
I did see that he had one, but it depends if we were on board them or not.
You know, I bet it was the second chicane. It looked like he went in a little bit quick and struggled in the right-hand part, so maybe he did get a penalty for that. He's got a run now, though, on the back of SRI. He's got to go for it, I think. Yes. That's the move. Jimmy in the pits as well.
He's really good till then, with his tyres in, 123. Was it 5, 6, 23, so 6 on?
Yeah, 6. SGP's tyres looking good. He's been back in the 126s as well. Looking very comfortable now, isn't he? Demon R's tyres considerably more worn, but again on a much longer stint than SGP, so I wouldn't be surprised if Demon R is now just thinking, okay, just get these tyres on, SGP's buggered off, just okay, take second place.
Oh, he's gone into the dusty ground there, sorry. Past that white line on the right hand side, and it's all dusty. That'll get into the tyres, sure.
It will, but I think the tank slap around Paragon will get into his rear end more. Okay, Jason SRI once again battling it out, this time SRI round the outside. Oh, it's SRI for the pits. Well, we're going to have to watch out for Nelly here, because if Nelly gets behind SRI, he's going to spin out. Jason, wait. Give Nelly an opportunity here on Jason. He'll get a good run here, I reckon.
Jason just turned in, and SRI was at that turn to apex, and it kind of just bounced him a wee bit out again, so I kind of put Nelly right on the back of him. So
Jason's going to run here though. Oh, he's looking up the inside. Can't really see, but that's alright. Gave a bit of space as Jason runs a little bit wider. Nelly runs a little bit wider. That's alright. Where's Nelly?
now SRI will be having no boost, Jason and Nelly will have that little bit of boost.
Well, they'll have boost if they drop a second behind SRI. Oh, we've got a spinner. I think that might be Formula Gary and Ascari as Twilight encounters him but manages to avoid him just. I'll tell you what though, you had your thought today. I've got one for you. Yeah. A limbo champ walks into a bar, he loses. Jason's got another run here.
The bar wasn't high enough then.
It wasn't open probably. Okay, so Jason's gone deep.
Look at that. Traction on Nelly, but then Jason's coming back. I think Jason's going to go down for us.
Oh! I think Nelly may have just squeezed Jason. guessing he didn't realise he was quite there. Okay, so big moment for Jason. I feel for him a bit there because coming back on quickly. Well, it's all right though because Nelly's going to spin out in a second and he'll be back on Jason, so he'll be all right.
That's what the current radio message was for Nelly when he was behind that.
Yeah, don't get too close.
I thought these races would be a wee bit spread out and whatnot. But the first two races have been providing us with great action, great room-to-room battles.
Absolutely.
That was one of the worries that this would have been a spread out race, but there's a battle somewhere going on in the track.
Yeah, and interesting. I think Arpal is closing back in on Steve F1 as Nelly here still right behind SRI, actually much closer to SRI. Twilight's ahead of Jason now as well. So here is Arpal. There is Steve F1. Yeah, I think Arpal's been closing that gap in.
Last 3 laps consistent. I want to see what Arpal's Steve F1 saw 128. He had a 126.
Yeah, but then the lap before that was a 28 as well. So
Arpal been more consistent in lap times. So
yeah, well, I mean he's got that opportunity now to put a bit of pressure on Steve F1 because I mean, the thing is, for someone like Steve F1, it would be easy to fall into that trap of, okay, I'm not catching the cars ahead, I'll just secure my position. And it's so easy to then make little errors which cost you a bit of lap time, and all of a sudden, you have someone breathing down your neck.
Yeah.
Number 27 for Arpal.
Yeah, Steve F1's trying to break that slipstream. So you're not getting it. It's not really much difference on braking gaps. Kind of being a wee bit the same.
I think Arpal's closed up a little bit on the exit of the corner. Nelly's still behind SRI. That battle's still on the pack out. But again, I mean, in this situation, and it is similar for SRI, you've got to have an eye on where you're going and an eye on your mirrors. And yeah, let's see how these guys are going to get on. Nelly, though, he's done quite well. He's got a few laps behind SRI without spinning out now. Steve F1, his tyres are all right, to be fair. He didn't do this lap and the next lap. Arpal's got a bit more life in his tyres, so maybe that's where that little bit of consistency has come from.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's at the top of here.
Oh, he goes the wrong way!
We discussed that.
Well,
is he getting going yet? Is he getting going? Where is he?
Oh, it's still in the gravel. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, has he got enough time to get anything back? SGP has started the last lap of the race. Go on, you were going to say something?
That's his second race that something has happened to Arpal at the end of the race and gave away a good position.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, SRI now has Twilight right behind him. So while we were watching that battle with Steve F1 and Arpal, this has sort of brewed a little bit because Jason's got back in. Go on.
Just they were all bunched up there. Chicane, there was nowhere to go for either of them.
Well, interestingly as well for SRI, now that someone else is in 5th place, he's able to break away a little bit as Twilight there with no boost. We've got 2 cars behind him that will have boost available if they drop back. Arpal quite a bit further back, but here we go then. SGP been phenomenal here at Monza, making up for the last few championship races here, taking the victory in dominant style, leading from start to finish. David Art, second place, hardly any tyres left Not a lot you can do about SGP there. Gave it a go. Steve F1 though. Oh, Nelly! Is that Nelly? Yeah, Nelly's had a moment in Ascari. Oh no. Steve F1 though, yeah, it looked like his race was over a long, long time ago, but comes back through to take third place. And then we've got SRI manages to survive the barrage of attack from Nelly and Jason. Takes fourth place. And then Twilight, a couple of laps ago, probably didn't think he'd be finishing in fifth place. And Artpound, he definitely wouldn't have been thinking he'd be finishing in eighth place. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, especially when Ascari spits you off. And Jimmy will be 10th place. Now, I know I said at the time Artpound's gone the wrong way. Obviously, he didn't go the wrong way. His car went the wrong way, so I can only guess he must have got on those pigs in blankets on the right hand side through a Ascari rain.
Yeah, I've never really seen it, but yeah, he's either got on the pigs or blankets, or he's just hit the throttle too much and it sent him sideways.
Yeah, quite possibly. Okay, well, let's take a look. Well, we'll say congratulations to SGP on the victory there. There's been no reports placed. So, yeah, Ray, why don't you take us through the confirmed race result?
Yeah, so first place SGP with 20 points, and then behind him, second place Demon R, 17 points. A massive drive from Steve F1, third place. They ended up with 15 points. SRI getting another position from Artpal, second race in a row at the end. Fourth place, 13 points. Twilight, fifth place. He was in the thick of the battles all race long, 12 points. Jason, who was sitting fourth and fifth most of the race, ends up in sixth place with 11 points. Nelly, we've seen him behind SRI having a spin and a couple of moments on his own. Seventh place with 10 points. Artpal, unlucky, done a fantastic race all till the
Second to last lap, yeah.
Eighth place with 9 points. Formula Gary, we've seen him up in second place at one point, and we've seen him in the battles with all the other drivers. 9 place for 8 points, sorry. And then Jimmy 10th, we've seen him with that massive crash that DV1 with 7 points.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned with Gary being he was in second place at one point, and at another point he was turning left on the exit of the Parabolica, which is massively unfortunate. Okay, before we go on to looking at the confirmed championship standings, a couple of things I do want to mention is I can confirm that SGP and Demon R both had maximum wing levels for the race here at Monza. So anyone thinking that the maximum wing level isn't capable of being fast, the front two cars had max wing level. So I think actually the front three cars, I think Steve F1 might have had max wing level as well. I know Artpal didn't, and I'm not saying that that's the reason he had the crash, but I'm just pointing out that when the drivers who have driven the car quite a bit say, look, best thing, if you're not getting any practice or hardly any practice, and you've got the fastest guy saying, go with full aeros, go with full aeros. Because they're not just saying it for the fun of it. Now, I asked you part way through that race, like, what would you do if you knew you were a pack driver? Would you take a bit off the wings? Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting one because I know I would consider it. I'd think about it, but I think I would come to the conclusion of, well, if I lower my wings a bit, yeah, I might have. Well, I'll have a bit of grip when I'm in the boost, but if I'm behind other cars, I'm going to struggle with the dirty air. If I've got full wings and others haven't, then I'll be better in the dirty air and I'll be better in the corners. So, yeah, I think I'd think about it, but with this particular car, I do think I'd probably stick with a higher wing. Now, if we were in the other F3000, 3500, the B, that came out before Christmas, if we were using that car, it may be a different scenario because that car's got more mechanical cornering grip. So you may be able to benefit more from it, whereas this car has a bit less grip. But yeah. Right. Okay, in a second we're going to look at the confirmed championship standings. However, Ray,
Yeah.
why did the chicken cross the road?
To get to the other side.
No, because someone called him Marty McFly.
Unless doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. Who's Marty McFly?
Guy from Back to the Future.
And what does he hate people calling him?
I don't know.
Chicken!
Alright.
It's a theme of the bloody movies. Don't call me chicken. And then he punches people.
Alright.
Oh, Jesus. Right, okay. Well, on that fucking hay bale breezing in the wind, let's take a look at the conference standings. Steve F1 still top in the standings, which just goes to show getting that place off Art Pal in that last stint was crucial for him to stay on top of the pile, because if he hadn't finished behind Art Pal, I think he may have been on 33 points. So yeah, Steve F1, 35 points is on. Demon R, 1 point behind on 34. SGP, 1 point behind that on 33. SRI is not too far away, as we're going to be heading to one of his favourite tracks next week. 4th place and 28 points for him. Nelly is behind SRI, which means next week he's going to be further down the standings, but at the moment is in 5th on 22 points. Twilight in 6th place on 21 points, so ever so close here with 5th, 6th and 7th. Art Pal, feel for him, 20 points. If he'd have finished in 3rd, I think he probably would have been up in 5th place, maybe close to SRI in 4th. Jason in 8th place on 19 points, then Formula Gary in 9th place on 15 points, Rich Blues in 10th on 10, and then Jimmy in 11th on 7. You may note as well, so we've got Hay on no points. He still keeps saying he's open to get back to us. Now, for Bob and Critical, for the time being, I have moved them off the standings because we haven't seen them for some time now. So we will be looking to fill those final 4 seats in the DGT League. And Ray, how do people go about joining if they are interested in getting involved with us all crazy lot?
Contact us on Facebook, and then we'll get you into like a practice session or something, and make sure that you can handle our craziness, our sense of humour, and most of all that you're able to drive and not wipe everybody out.
Yes.
And then maybe a couple of practice sessions that would be.
Yeah.
So like probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks if we feel it's needed. And then if all goes well, you get to join us crazy lot.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of key factors. You've got to be over the age of 18.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've got to, even if you don't know the DGT ways, you need to learn them. So things like, we are going to have boost on. We will do some championships where the boost isn't on, but for the majority, the boost is going to be on. We do change. Go on.
And also our DGT rules.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We change cars each championship. That's why it's dynamic. And yeah, so a lot of things happen pretty quickly. For information regarding days of like practice sessions and stuff, we do a proper practice session on a Thursday evening. Sort of we're on from about 7:30 UK time. And our race day is Monday. We are on from 7 with the qualifying or race starting at 8 o'clock. So yeah, if you are wanting to get involved, you will need to be available on Mondays, and we would highly recommend joining us on the Thursdays. I mean, to be fair, I'd still recommend that any of our drivers, current drivers, that even if they only get a chance to pop on for 20 minutes at some point, do it, because it will help. And if you want someone on there to give you some assistance, yeah, feel free to ask. Okay, we are as well going to be trying to do some lobbies to gain some further interest for spaces. We thought about doing it before Christmas and during the last championship, but the last championship didn't have boost, or did it?
No,
No, yeah, the last championship didn't have boost, and what we didn't want to do was introduce people into the league and then find out that the next championship's going to be on boost. We wanted them to come in knowing boost is going to be on. Now, you don't have to be fast. You just have to be sensible enough when you're on the racetrack. Okay. I was about to say that's it. Let's go home. But we've we've got something to have a look at and have a chat about, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I don't mean your fucking selfies. Okay. Are you ready to take us for a fly around Spain?
Well,
We know. Do 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 do. Ah. So, some information for you about the Circuit de Catalunya. It's very bumpy. Don't let go of your steering wheel on the start finish straight. The car can spin on you. Turn 3, normally I would say take a late entry into turn 3, but in this car, take an early entry and be aware that it is not a flat out corner. So if Demonard does a lap guide, watch it, because you might be surprised how slow you perhaps have to go through there. Tyre wear on the rear left could be a killer. And if you're used to driving cars that have lots of grip around this circuit, I think you might be surprised at how little amount of cornering grip the car has around here, apart from perhaps the last couple of corners. And is the last corner flat out? Try it and see what happens. So you ready now, Ray?
I'm just trying to get
it up. Oh, you're trying to get some information. Okay, I'll let you carry on then. Okay, so let's something to mention. Actually, we are going to be going to 2 circuits of this championship that we've never raced on before. Montreal and Abu Dhabi. Now, to be fair, this car round Abu Dhabi is pretty good. Around Montreal, it's not bad, but if you go with a lower wing setting, it's going to be absolutely awful for you. Tyre wear around, Catalonia, you should be able to do a 1-stop. But if you are attempting to go around turn 3 and turn 9 too fast, the rear left tyre will not last. As an example of that, when we did a little bit of a test to see what tyre wear we were going to be using, I believe there was myself, Ray, SGP and Steve F1. 3 of us, the tyres looked like they could comfortably do a 1-stop. One of us was nowhere near doing a 1-stop. And it comes down to how quick they're trying to go through those 2 corners. I mean, I'm surprised there's anyone that you couldn't make the tyres last, Ray.
me?
Yeah.
When?
I know you weren't really listening, but I thought you might at least remember and go, it wasn't me, it was you. You're ready now, are you? Okay, have I finished filling the gap? Okay. I mean, to be fair, what I could have done is just gone, okay, well, we'll just wait a moment. I could have edited this bit out. Anyway, right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, well, let's take a little fly around Catalonia. In 3, 2, 1, let's fly.
Okay, as we come down the start finish straight, it's about 2.8 8 miles in length. Oh, I don't see that. I was looking at my notes.
There's some graffiti on the wall.
And it was designed by a German architect, Hermann
Goering.
Tilkel.
Tilka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tilkel, looks like.
Tickle, yeah.
So, yeah, and as we come down into, it's going to be Elf, and then into Reynolds second corner. That's a short circuit you just seen there.
Yep.
So you want to break about where that concrete was on the right, left-hand side. Probably second into third gear here, and then whatever gear Demon R was talking about.
Fourth gear.
Here.
So get in fourth gear, get it turned in, lift off, get the car around the corner. But yeah, so that's what I would recommend. And try minimal amount of steering.
And then here, I like to put one wheel on the green bit, and then angle my car before I brake and go towards the apex here at this corner. I think it's about third gear corner. Then you're back on it. It's a short bust down to C. Yeah, C. And it's about a second gear corner. Third gear, if you can do it comfortable. Some people might not. Some people might. And then another wee short bust down to, not got a name for this one, corner 7. Turn 7. And then I flick to the right for turn 8. And we're heading up to campus now. This one I've not got a grip of yet. I either in third gear, I'm fourth gear, I'm hitting the brakes, I'm lifting. This one I'm not sure of yet.
Third gear? I think approaching in fourth, drop it down to third, turning in by the end of the curb on the left. It's a lot slower corner than you might think. And the black tyre mark on the curb there, that is the latest possible point you can brake and make this corner if there is no car in front of you.
Yeah, and then also watch here. A lot of cars are going to spin. Here, it's where the rev range messes about in third gear. If you put too much throttle, and it will spin you. And then as we come down to it, and no, it's not the chicane, the right-hander here. I think a lift there. Here, I was drifting down.
Yeah.
And then flooring it out. And then it's a long drive down back to turn 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty. Monza was quite physical. I think this is going to be a wee bit more physical, especially with the sector 1 and then hairpin and turn 11 and 12, where that range in the third gear, if you floor it down, see how it revs up and then it kicks back and then it goes back again. If you hit that and you've got steering, your car's going.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably the main thing I would say, again, because I said it when you were looking for your information, is around here, it took me a long time in my head to go, okay, yeah, it's an F1 car, but it's not like a modern day F1 car, or it's not like a modern day LMP1 car. So realizing that, okay, I've actually got to lift off, maybe a dab of brake, downshift for turn 9 to get round the corner at any speed is odd for me in a Formula 1 car. And the final couple of corners in a modern day F1 car, they're both flat out. I mean, turn 9's flat out in a modern F1 car. And some people may struggle with the second to last corner. Where the curb ends on the left-hand side, by the end of that, you want to be turning in and take quite a bit of curb on the right if you can. In the final corner, again, I mean, I tried it just doing a little lift and turning in, but I did find it better doing a sort of little bit of a lift and a downshift, because it just gave me a better turn in and I was able to power out of the corner rather than sort of hovering through the corner. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one to see how drivers get on here. Now, one of the things that we've talked about when looking at tracks is the spin risk locations. And around here, I think the transition from turn 2 into turn 3, if someone's too aggressive with the change of direction there, that could be a spin risk. Turn 4, not really a problem in this car as long as you've got it slowed down. It handles the exit of it fine. The little downhill horrible left-hander, interestingly, I was doing that one in first gear to get the turn in, and it avoids running wide towards the exit, but that is a potential spin risk. Then we're into probably the biggest spin risk on the circuit, which is the turn 7 and 8 chicane. Second gear I was doing for the left-hand part of that, and then trying to get the steering nice and straight. All the spins I've seen is when someone's gone in perhaps a little too quick, a little deep, and then trying to sort of maneuver the car round the corner. It can't handle the steering inputs and too much throttle. Turn 9, not really a spin risk, but a very risk of running wide. And then the hairpin, again, not really a spin risk there. And then the kink that you mentioned is a spin risk. So there's a few of them, but actually very... what's the word? Very avoidable from any of the spins. So yeah. But other than that, look after your tyres, try and be consistent, and remember, it's an F1 car, but it is an old one. Anything else you want to add, Ray? No. Okay. In that case, then, right, I think it's time we wrap this one up, which is something that Ray has never done. And sorry. And yeah. Join us for all of the action next week. Ray, thank you very much for joining us on commentary.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, drivers and the admins as well. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Right. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, smash that notifications bell, and we'll see you all again soon. I was waiting for you, ta-ra.
I did it.
I heard nothing. That's weird, that is.
I went,
Do it again.
ta-ra.
There we go.